Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we're diving into something real, something raw, and something that's going to shift the way you think about love forever. The title of this talk is Men Fall Deeply in Love When You Do This. And let me tell you, this isn't about tricks, games, or some magical formula to manipulate someone into loving you. No, no, no. This is about unlocking something so powerful inside you that it changes the game entirely. So what is this? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to walk out of here knowing exactly what it is and how to make it happen. Let's start with a truth bomb. Love isn't something you chase. It's not a prize you win by being the prettiest, the smartest, or the most accommodating. Love, real, deep, soul-shaking love happens when you show up as the most authentic version of yourself. That's this we're talking about today, authenticity. It's not just a buzzword. It's the key to making a man fall so deeply in love with you that he can't imagine his life without you. But here's the catch. Authenticity isn't easy. It's messy. It's vulnerable, and it's scary as hell. And that's why most people miss it. Think about it. How many times have you dimmed your light to make someone else comfortable? How many times have you swallowed your truth, your desires, your quirks, because you thought, if I'm too much, he'll run away? I'm raising my hand right now because I've been there. We've all been there. But here's the deal. When you hide who you are, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating the world of the magic that is you, and you're cheating any man who's lucky enough to cross your path. So let's break this down. Authenticity means owning every part of you, the good, the bad, the weird, the wild. It's about standing in your truth and saying, this is me, take it or leave it. But let's be real, that's terrifying. Why? Because we're conditioned to believe that love comes from fitting into someone else's box. We're taught to be the perfect girlfriend or the ideal wife. But perfection is a lie. It's a trap. And men, they don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with real. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I knew a woman named Sarah. Sarah was a people pleaser. She'd bend over backward to make her boyfriend happy, cooking his favorite meals, agreeing with his opinions, even changing her style to match what she thought he wanted. But you know what happened? He left. Not because she wasn't enough, but because she wasn't herself. She was playing a role, and deep down, he could feel it. There was no depth, no spark, no real connection. Now, fast forward a year. Sarah decided she was done pretending. She started showing up as her true self, laughing too loud, sharing her nerdy love for sci-fi, and speaking her mind even when it ruffled feathers. And you know what? She met someone new. This guy couldn't get enough of her. He'd light up when she rambled about her favorite books or got passionate about her dreams. Why? Because she was real. And that realness, it's magnetic. So here's the first step to making a man fall deeply in love. Stop trying to be what you think he wants. Stop molding yourself into someone else's idea of lovable. Instead, ask yourself, who am I when I'm not trying to impress anyone? That's the woman he's going to fall for. That's the woman who's going to make his heart race. But it starts with you getting clear on who you are. So let's talk about why this works. Men, like all humans, are drawn to authenticity because it's rare. In a world full of filters, facades, and fake smiles, someone who's unapologetically themselves stands out like a beacon. When you're authentic, you give him permission to be authentic too. And that's where real connection happens. That's where love grows. But authenticity isn't just about being yourself. It's about loving yourself. And I mean really loving yourself, not the Instagram version of self-love with bubble baths and affirmations, but the gritty, messy kind, the kind where you look in the mirror and say, I'm flawed, I'm human and I'm still worthy of love. Because here's the secret. Men don't fall in love with your body, your bank account, or your resume. They fall in love with the way you carry yourself, the way you radiate confidence from knowing your worth. Let's pause for a second. I want you to think about the last time you felt truly confident. Not cocky, not fake it till you make it, but deeply, unshakably confident. Maybe it was when you nailed a presentation at work or stood up for something you believed in. How did that feel? Electric, right? That's the energy that draws people in. That's the energy that makes a man look at you and think, she's different, she's special. But confidence doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't come from a guy texting you back or telling you you're beautiful. It comes from within. It comes from doing the hard work of knowing yourself, accepting yourself, and choosing yourself every single day. And when you do that, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of woman who doesn't just attract love, she inspires it. Now, let's get practical. How do you start showing up authentically? Step 1, get curious about yourself. Spend time alone. Journal. Ask yourself tough questions. What do you love? What do you hate? What makes you feel alive? Most of us are so busy chasing other people's approval that we forget to check in with ourselves. But you can't be authentic if you don't know who you are. Step 2, practice saying no. Authenticity means setting boundaries. It means being okay with disappointing people if it means staying true to yourself. If a guy asks you to do something that doesn't feel right, say no. If he wants you to change who you are, say no. Not because you're being difficult, but because you're being honest. And honesty, it's the foundation of love. Step 3, embrace your quirks. You know those things you're embarrassed about, the way you snort when you laugh or your obsession with cheesy rom-coms? Those are the things that make you you. Stop hiding them. Share them. Celebrate them. Because the right man, he's going to love those quirks. He's going to think they're adorable, unique, and part of what makes you irresistible. Let me tell you about another woman, Mia. Mia was convinced her love for heavy metal music was a turnoff. She'd always switch to pop playlists on dates because she thought it was more acceptable. But one day she decided to stop pretending. She played her favorite Metallica song in the car with a guy she was seeing. And you know what he said? "This is awesome. I didn't know you were into this." They bonded over it. It became their thing, all because she stopped hiding. Here's the thing. When you hide your quirks, you're not just hiding parts of yourself, you're hiding opportunities for connection. Your quirks are what make you memorable. They're what make you stand out in a sea of sameness. So lean into them. Let them shine. Because the man who's meant for you, he's going to love every single one. Now, let's talk about vulnerability. Authenticity isn't just about being confident or quirky. It's about being open. It's about letting someone see the real you, even the parts you're scared to show. And yes, that's terrifying. Opening up means risking rejection. It means risking hurt. But it's also the only way to build a love that's deep, real, and lasting. You know, vulnerability doesn't mean spilling your life story on the first date. It means being honest about how you feel. It means saying, hey, I'm nervous right now, or I really like you and that scares me. It means letting him see your heart even when it's messy. Because when you're vulnerable, you create space for him to be vulnerable too. And that's where intimacy lives. I want you to imagine something. Imagine a relationship where you don't have to pretend, where you can be your goofy, imperfect, beautiful self, and he loves you for it. Where you can share your fears, your dreams, your silly little habits, and he thinks, God, I'm lucky to have her. That's what happens when you show up authentically. That's what happens when you do this. But here's the kicker. Authenticity isn't a one-time thing. It's a practice. It's a choice you make every day. There will be moments when you're tempted to shrink, to hide, to play small. And that's okay. You're human. But when those moments come, I want you to remember this. You are enough. You are more than enough. And the right man, he's going to see that. Let's talk about what authenticity looks like in action. It's in the way you communicate. Instead of playing games or waiting 3 days to text back, you're honest. You say what you mean, you ask for what you want, not because you're demanding, but because you respect yourself enough to be clear. It's in the way you handle conflict. Instead of shutting down or lashing out, you speak your truth with kindness. You say, "This hurt me," or "I need us to talk about this." Because authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, even when it's hard. It's in the way you live your life. When you're authentic, you don't put your dreams on hold to please someone else. You chase your passions. You build a life that lights you up. And that energy, it's contagious. It draws people in. It makes a man look at you and think, "She's incredible. I want to be part of her world." Let's address the elephant in the room, fear. The fear that if you're too real, too you, he'll leave. I get it. That fear is real. But here's the truth. If a man can't handle your authenticity, he's not the one, period. The right man will love you for your truth, not in spite of it. And the sooner you let go of the wrong ones, the sooner you make space for the right one. Now, I want to talk about something else, joy. When you're authentic, you tap into a kind of joy that's unstoppable. It's the joy of being free, free from pretending, free from performing, free from trying to be someone you're not. And that joy, it's magnetic. It's what makes a man look at you and think, "I want to be around her. I want to feel that energy." Let me share another story. My friend Lisa used to think she had to be serious and polished to be taken seriously in relationships. But one day she let her guard down. She started dancing like a goofball in her living room with a guy she was dating. She laughed until she cried, not caring how she looked. And you know what he said? "I've never seen you like this. This is why I'm falling for you." Her joy, her realness was what sealed the deal. Joy is powerful. It's what makes love fun, light, and lasting. So don't be afraid to let your silly side out. Don't be afraid to laugh, to play, to be a little weird, because those moments, they're what make a man fall deeply in love. They're what make him think, "She's my person." Let's talk about self-respect. Authenticity and self-respect go hand in hand. When you respect yourself, you don't settle for less than you deserve. You don't chase someone who's not showing up for you. You don't beg for love. You know your worth and you act like it. And that's incredibly attractive. Self-respect means walking away from anything that dims your light. It means choosing yourself even when it's hard. It means saying, "I deserve a love that feels good, that lifts me up, that honors who I am." And when you carry yourself with that kind of dignity, you attract a man who respects you too. Now, let's talk about connection. Authenticity creates connection. When you're real, you invite realness in return. You create a space where both of you can be honest, vulnerable, and fully yourselves. And that's where love thrives. That's where you build something deep, something true, something that lasts. But connection takes work. It takes courage. It takes showing up even when you're scared. It takes listening, really listening to what he's saying, not just with your ears, but with your heart. It takes being present, fully present in the moment, because love isn't built on grand gestures or perfect moments. It's built on the small, real, messy moments you share together. Let's talk about trust. Authenticity builds trust. When you're honest about who you are, what you want, and how you feel, you create a foundation of trust. And trust, it's the bedrock of love. Without it, you've got nothing. So be someone he can trust. Be consistent, be real, be you. Now, I want to address something important: timing. Sometimes you can be the most authentic version of yourself and it still doesn't work out. And that's okay. Not every man is going to be your man. Not every relationship is meant to last. But that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're one step closer to the one who's meant for you. When things don't work out, don't let it shake your confidence. Don't let it make you question your worth. Instead, see it as a gift, a chance to learn, to grow, to get clearer on what you want and deserve. Because every heartbreak, every rejection is preparing you for the love that's coming. Let's talk about patience. Authenticity requires patience. It's not about rushing into love or forcing a connection. It's about trusting that the right person will show up when the time is right. And in the meantime, focus on you. Build a life you love. Become the woman you're proud of. Because when you do that, you're not just waiting for love. You're creating a life that love will want to be part of. Now let's talk about gratitude. When you're authentic, you start to see the beauty in your life, even the imperfect parts. You start to feel grateful for who you are, for the journey you're on, for the lessons you've learned. And that gratitude, it changes you. It makes you softer, kinder, more open to love. Gratitude also shifts the way you see relationships. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you start to appreciate what's there. You notice the little things, the way he makes you laugh, the way he listens, the way he shows up. And those little things, they're what make love deep. They're what make it real. Let's talk about courage. Being authentic takes guts. It's not easy to show up as yourself in a world that's constantly telling you to be someone else. It's not easy to risk rejection, to be vulnerable, to stand in your truth. But you know what? You're stronger than you think. You've got the courage to do this. And when you do, you'll be amazed at what happens. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you feel the fear and do it anyway. It means you take the leap, even when you're not sure where you'll land, because the alternative, hiding, pretending, playing small, isn't an option. Not for you, not anymore. So let's talk about growth. Authenticity is a journey, not a destination. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be perfectly authentic. And that's okay. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction, that you're showing up a little more as yourself every day, that you're learning, evolving, becoming. Every step you take toward authenticity is a step toward love. Every time you choose yourself, you're choosing the possibility of a deeper, truer connection. So keep going, keep growing, keep showing up, because you're worth it. And the love you're dreaming of, it's worth it too. Now, let's talk about impact. When you're authentic, you don't just change your relationships, you change the world around you. Your realness inspires others to be real. Your courage gives others permission to be courageous. Your light shines so bright that it lights up everyone around you. Think about the ripple effect. When you show up as your true self, you create a space where others can do the same. You make it okay to be imperfect, to be human, to be real. And that's powerful. That's how you change the world, one authentic moment at a time. Let's talk about love again. Real love, the kind that makes your heart sing, the kind that feels like home. That's what happens when you do this. When you show up as yourself, unapologetically, unflinchingly, you attract a love that's just as real. A love that sees you, knows you, But here's the thing, that love starts with you. It starts with you choosing yourself. It starts with you loving yourself so fiercely that you don't need anyone else to complete you, because when you're whole, when you're authentic, you don't attract someone who fills a void. You attract someone who adds to your already incredible life. Let's talk about freedom. Authenticity is freedom. It's the freedom to be who you are without apology. It's the freedom to love without fear. It's the freedom to live a life that feels true to you. And when you're free, you give others permission to be free too. You create a relationship that's not about control or expectation, but about mutual respect, mutual growth, mutual love. Now, I want you to do something for me. Close your eyes for a second. Picture the woman you are when you're at your best. The woman who's confident, joyful, unapologetically herself. The woman who loves fiercely, lives boldly, and shines so bright it takes your breath away. That's who you are. That's who you're meant to be. Open your eyes. That woman, she's not a fantasy. She's not a dream. She's you right now. Maybe she's buried under layers of doubt or fear or old habits, but she's there. And all it takes to bring her out is one choice, one moment of courage, one step toward authenticity. So, here's my challenge to you. Go out there and be her. Be the woman who owns her truth. Be the woman who loves herself fiercely. Be the woman who shows up day after day as her real, messy, beautiful self. Because when you do that, you don't just make a man fall in love. You create a love that's deeper, truer, and more powerful than you ever imagined. Let's wrap this up. The secret to making a man fall deeply in love isn't about changing who you are. It's about being who you are. It's about showing up with courage, vulnerability, and unapologetic realness. It's about doing this, choosing authenticity, choosing yourself, choosing love. So go out there and do it. Be you, be real, be brave, and watch what happens. Watch how the world shifts. Watch how love finds you, because it will. I promise you it will. Thank you.